Yo, what's up guys? This is Bunny Muffins. Riot just released pretty much everything we need to know about set 3, so we are going to be going over all the origins and all the synergies coming up. I'll also be doing a champion overview sometime later in the future.
Alright, so first we have the Blaster class. Every fourth Blaster attack fires additional attacks which deal double the damage. And this is a 2 and 4 person synergy. We have Graves, Lucian, Ezreal, Jinx, Misfortune. So this is like the stereotypical like AD carry type of synergy. Pretty similar to Blade Master, but instead of having a chance to proc on every auto, it's every fourth auto for guaranteed additional attack. So obviously anything with on-hit abilities is going to be really good. So like Giant Slayer, Last Whisper, those types of items, and also anything with high damage, because if you're dealing double damage, like that 4-shot's going to be pretty massive. I'm surprised Jhin isn't on here, because isn't he the master of 4 shots? But I guess he doesn't fire additional attacks. But moving on to Infiltrator. Passive, Infiltrators jump to the back of the enemy territory at the start of combat. So they're like assassins from set 1 and set 2. Infiltrators gain 50% attack speed for the first 6 seconds of combat. So they did change something about them to make them pretty cool in my opinion. It's more interesting than doing all the crit builds because it kind of forces assassins to be the ideal holders for Infinity Edge, which made Infinity Edge hard to balance for every other class. So at 2 and 4 people, the bonus active just gets improved. And they also can refresh on takedowns at 4. So they're ditching the 6 synergy for this one compared to assassins. But we have Kha'Zix, Kai'Sa, Shaco, Fizz, and Echo. I think I read a couple of the champions and Kha'Zix is the same, but I'd be curious to see what everything else is. But we'll go over that in a future video. Next we have Mercenary. Mercenaries can be paid gold to upgrade their ability, and we have Gangplank and Misfortune. That's pretty unique that is unique because we've never been able to spend gold to directly improve our champions. So that'd be interesting to see how that would work. I definitely like this addition that adds one more dynamic to the game, which is always going to be more fun. Next we have Brawlers, similar to set 1. They just get bonus health. And we have Malphite, Blitzcrank, Vi, and Cho'Gath. I'm glad they added Blitzcrank back to the game. He grabs someone at the start of the round on the opposite side, or his furthest enemy. And it made positioning a lot more interesting, in my opinion. Positioning in set 2, you just put your carry in the back and the center, and that was about it. There wasn't any like cool tricks you could do combining like Blitzcrank with assassins and stuff. So I'm glad they're adding more of these effects back into the game. Next up, we have Vanguard. Vanguards gain bonus armor, so this is very similar to Wardens. We have Leona, who is a Warden. I wonder if she's the same, but again, we'll go over that in the future. Poppy, Mordekaiser, Jace, and Wukong. Interesting to see Jace and Wukong here, because they're typically not dedicated tanks like Mordekaiser and Poppy, in my mind at least. But yeah, these two are just like the generic tank classes. Demolitionists. So these guys, their spells stun targets they hit for 2.5 seconds, and they also get a bonus active. But they don't really say what the bonus active is, so we'll know more about this as the game gets released further. But first we have Ziggs at 1 cost, Rumble, and Gangplank. So since Ziggs is a 1 cost, I doubt we're getting his ultimate ability, which is a giant bomb, so we might just get like a satchel or something like that. But again, we'll see more once we get into the gameplay, which I'm excited to do this weekend. I'll be streaming at twitch.tv/BunnyMuffinsLOL in case you guys are interested. Next up, we have Protector. Ooh, interesting. There are 3 different tank classes then this set. Protectors gain a shield scaling off max health for 3 seconds whenever they cast. Oh, and by the way, for Demolitionists, items such as like Seraph's Embrace or Spear of Shojin might be pretty good on them because they're going to continually stun targets. Wow, that just made me realize Gangplank's going to be pretty broken because I know his ultimate is his like giant AoE cannon barrage from the sky, and if that's stunning everyone they hit for 2.5 seconds, that's going to be a huge like a huge ultimate. But yeah, back to Protectors. They gain 15% or 35% max health shield. Rakan, Jarvan, Xin Zhao, and Nico. Interesting to see Nico there. I guess she does shield with her ultimate, so I'm guessing Nico's ability is going to be her ultimate in League of Legends, which is like a giant AoE. She like jumps up and then shoots down, gaining a shield and rooting everyone around her. So that's going to be really cool. I'm assuming Jarvan's is going to be really boring since he's a 1 cost. That's just probably going to be a shield for himself that Um, oh yeah, that one isn't that cool, but Nico's is going to be great. Next, we have Mystic. So we already had this in set 2, and we have Sona, Karma, Soraka, and Lulu. So that's just the generic anti-magic class, which I do like that they kept in this set. I feel like Dragon Synergy, which was an anti-magic class in set 1, was a little too big of a counter. Oh wow, they're bringing sorcerers back. All allies gain increased spell power. I love sorcerers from set 1 because, oh, please be the old Twisted Fate. We'll find out later, but the old Twisted Fate was really cool. I swear to God, if they put in like his E or his Q, it's just going to be really boring. But his W was such an awesome ability. I'm clicking this one. I just need to find out. And it's his Q. All right, well, we'll go into more detail for all these champions in future videos. I was just really curious about this one. I am disappointed that they did not bring the old Twisted Fate back. But we have Zoe as well, Ari, Annie, Lux, Syndra, and Vel'Koz. Next is Mana Reavers. Mana Reavers' first attack or all attacks increase the cost of their target's next spell cast by 40%. So we have Darius, Caston, Aurelion, Thresh. So these guys are like another anti-magic class. Wow, I really like this. They're adding a lot of different ways to counter things. So this obviously is similar to Poison. I think this one's more fun to watch because, like, when you have the 4 synergy, it's just gonna be really funny when they keep attacking to increase cast times. Blade Masters have a chance to on hit to attack 2 extra times, so this is the same as before, or I guess slightly different from before. And then they just have different percentages for on hit. And we have Fiora, Xayah, Shen, Yasuo, Master Yi, Aurelia, and Kayle. I know Shen is the same from set 1, and that was one of my favorite champions back then because he's like in the Blade Master class, but he's actually a tank, so it's like something kind of like he could work in different compositions compared to all the other boring tanks, you know? Because like Brawler, Vanguard, you just get a bunch of health and armor. It's not as cool as Shen's like zone where everyone can't get hit by auto attacks. So next up we have Snipers. Snipers deal 10% increased damage for each hex distance between themselves and their target. So these are going to be another carry class. That ability, just reading it, sounds awesome. So it says increased damage, so pretty much any item might work as well. So if there's like a static shiv, maybe the person furthest away who gets hit by the static shiv takes extra damage, which would be really interesting to see. But we have Jhin, Ashe, and Caitlyn. Okay, Jin's down here somewhere. I knew he was in this set, but for some reason he isn't part of the 4-shot gang for blaster people. But moving on anyways. Last one we have Starship. Starship continuously circle the arena and cannot basic attack. Oh, that's awesome. Aurelion Sol's just going to be running around with all the balls like flying around. All right, that's going to be pretty cool. So that's very similar to Singe, but Aurelion Sol does it cooler in my opinion. So Celestial, going into the origins, all allies heal based on damage Celestial units deal. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be like kind of like a support class, I guess. Especially Rakan. Rakan seems like a pretty core unit for some of these builds because he gets 2 different tank benefits for your team. One from Celestial, one from Protector. But that seems pretty interesting because they haven't tried this concept before. Cybernetics, with an item, gain bonus attack damage and health. So all these units, they gain... yeah, just attack damage and health based on whether they have an item and how many of them that you have. And we have Fiora, Leona, Lucian, Vi, Aurelia, and Echo. Ooh, so with that in mind, they're trying to improve item diversity between your champions because normally you just stack one champion and it's not as cool when that happens. I like it when multiple people carry because when one person is on your team's dealing 10,000 damage when your entire team dealt 11,000 total, it's just kind of weird whenever that happens. So I'm glad they are promoting the use of different item holders. Next up we have Dark Star. When a Dark Star dies, it gives increased damage and previous stacks of this effect to the nearest allied Dark Star. So this is kind of like light buff, except it doesn't heal. But this sounds really cool because it doesn't go to the buff doesn't go to everyone, it just goes to one person. So it's kind of like handing off a baton to see who could carry in the last stand. And obviously it's going to be Jhin because he's going to be all the way in the back because he's a sniper. Oh, what I just realized is that like you can't put your snipers in a corner because they might get countered by Blitzcrank. So you might have to play around that, or maybe like if someone's playing a sniper, you put in a Blitzcrank to try to counter them. But yeah, we have Jarvan, Mordekaiser, Karma, Lux, Shaco, and Jhin. Chrono. All allies gain attack speed every 4 seconds. Okay, so that's like lunar buff. So in long games, you'll want to combine Chrono with like a lot of tankier teams so that you could actually take advantage of the buff. So we'll have to see like what types of synergies work around that. Obviously, like Rage Blade would be really good with Chrono as well. But yeah, we have Caitlyn, Twisted Fate, Blitzcrank, Shen, Ezreal, Wukong, and Thresh. We have Space Pirates, so pirates are back. 50% chance to drop gold or items. Wow, they can drop items too. Whenever a Space Pirate lands a killing blow. Wait, whenever they land a killing blow? So it's not at the end of every round anymore. Wow, that could be dangerous. This might be really hard to balance because every time Graves kills someone, it's going to be weird, right? Because he's Blaster, so he's going to be shooting a huge shot at the end of, or every 4 shots. So in the early rounds, you could get a lot of bonus gold from using Graves. I guess Darius is a 2 cost and you need 2 of them to activate the synergy, so it might not be as out of control as I think it is. Next up, we have Mech Pilot. At the start of combat, 3 random Mech Pilots are merged into a Super Mech until... Wow, Riot really outdone themselves this set. That's pretty cool. Do they like... I need to click into it to see if they talk more about this ability, but they don't. So I wonder if they like combine everything or something like that. Well, we'll just have to find out when we play on PBE later. So next one is Rebel. At the start of combat, Rebels gain a shield for 8 seconds and increase damage for each adjacent Rebel. Okay, so you want to group them all together then, I'm guessing. And then it's kind of like Lockets. Are they taking Locket out of the game? We'll have to see. Malphite, Ziggs, Sona, Yasuo, Master Yi, Jinx, and Aurelion Sol. Oh wow, so you could surround Aurelion Sol, make him huge, and then he runs around the map maybe? That'd be pretty cool. Next up we have Star Guardians. I love these skins, but we'll see what they do. Whenever a Star Guardian casts, all other Star Guardians gain mana. That's pretty neat. So it's kind of like Ocean Buff. I'm assuming that you do like Star Guardian and Sorcerers or something like that. So we have 1 Sorcerer, 2 Sorcerers, 3 Sorcerers. Wow, so that's already like a synergy I'm thinking of right now. That's pretty neat because Ocean's kind of boring. You know, it's like you just gain mana every like 5 seconds or whatever it is. But this one, it's like you have a goal, and then you need to like match up the math on your mana items to try to maximize the effect of this. Interesting that Soraka's a 4 cost. Does she heal everyone? Yeah, she heals everyone. That's pretty cool. Valkyrie attacks and spells always crit targets below 50% health. That's interesting. So I say interesting because you want to build Infinity Edge, right? Because that increases critical strike damage. But at the same time, if you always crit, you don't need the increased critical strike. So maybe same with Last Whisper. It's tough to say. But this is a pretty cool execute concept that they added to the game. I'm surprised Jhin isn't a Valkyrie. I guess like Valkyrie, he isn't like a Valkyrie, but he should have some ability that's similar to this. I guess Sniper kind of does that. Lastly, we get Voids back. Voids deal true damage, and there are only 3 of them. And we have Kha'Zix, Cho'Gath, and Vel'Koz. Kha'Zix and Cho'Gath are the ones from set 1. I just want to click Vel'Koz because he's my favorite champion in League. Vel'Koz channel, okay, nice. They added his ultimate. So they're going to have huge damage from these Voids, which I'm very excited about. So we'll see how it actually plays out. I just want to take a quick peek at the items and look at the spatula items and to see what we can get from them, because that changes all the judgments for all the origins and synergies. So we could get extra Star Guardians, extra Dark Star, extra Infiltrators, where extra Protectors, extra Demolitionists, Celestials. I like how they made this change, where Spatula plus Sword, which is a blade, turns into Blade of the Ruined King instead of the bow like in last patches, or in last sets. They still have Force of Nature, and then we have Rebels Metal as well. So let's take a quick peek back at the synergies. I'm excited about like Star Guardian Sorcerers because you could spatula both of them up. That's probably going to be my favorite comp going into this, just because it's going to be a very flexible comp. But we'll see how this actually plays out. I'm going to be going over every champion sometime in the next week or two, so definitely look out for that. Thanks so much for watching, though. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. And if you want to get better at TFT going into set 3, or even if you're preparing for mobile as well, you'll definitely want to hit the bell icon to get notified before everyone else for all my new videos. Lastly, I think this patch comes out on March 18th. That's when 10.6 comes out, so we'll look out for that. But good luck in the rest of your set 2 climbs. I'm going to be climbing these next 2 weeks as well on twitch.tv/bunnymuffinslol. So I hope to see you guys there. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.